What is up, Hobbit fans? My name is Trevor, and welcome back to another episode of Middle-earth Mondays. Every Monday on my channel, at least most Mondays on my channel, we like to geek out about everything Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. I love Middle-earth so much, and today we're ranking the Hobbit Trilogy, now one of my personal favorite trilogies of all time. Join me in the comment section, share your guys' ranking of these three movies. How do they compare to the Lord of the Rings movies? That's going to be a video coming up comparing and contrasting The Hobbit to the Lord of the Rings movies, but how do these movies compare for you guys? Do you love the Lord of the Rings more than these ones? How does that all compare? Let me know down below in the comment section. And with all that said, let's get started with our rankings. So, first up in last place at number 3, The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug. Before I went back and rewatched these movies, this was actually my favorite Hobbit film, and just this rewatch, this is the one movie I found myself the least invested in. I still think it is a fantastic movie. I actually think all these movies are solid 9.5, 10 out of 10 movies. I love them all so much. This film did something that didn't really work for me as well as it did before, but still a fantastic film nonetheless. I love this movie. I truly do. Benedict Cumberbatch as Smaug, not in it all that much, but when he is, just how he like stretched and ripped his vocal cords in the way he talked as Smaug. Benedict Cumberbatch, you never would recognize his voice, but how Smaug looked, he looked so just, powerful and impactful, and he really is the standout in this film. But you also got the likes of your characters back again. You got Bilbo, you got Thorin, one of my favorite Middle-earth characters of all time is Thorin Oakenshield. But then we also get introduced to Legolas in this film. We get introduced to Tauriel in this film, and we get lots of action, amazing fight scenes, and Peter Jackson's really good. He's honestly one of the best at great fight, battle, and action scenes. The one on the river alone, when they're in the barrels flowing down the river, that battle scene is absolutely amazing. And we also get introduced to the little rivalry between Bolg and between Legolas. You get Thorin against Azog. You got all of our characters. Just the drama from the first film truly led into this film brilliantly. I love The Desolation of Smaug. It kind of breaks my heart I have to put it in last place and rank these movies one over the other, but this is the one I'll probably find myself rewatching the least. Next up at number 2, the runner-up with this ranking, The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies. I remember not liking this one, not much at all, the first time I watched it back in the theaters, but upon this rewatch, I found myself loving it, giving it a solid 10 out of 10. I think this movie is fantastic, and I know I'm in the minority here. Trust me, I know. This is not really sitting well with critics either, but it is a fantastic movie to me nonetheless. Like I said before, Peter Jackson is a master at creating fight scenes and battle scenes. The CGI here is a little hit or miss, but we finally get to see what that dragon sickness is all about with Thorin Oakenshield. Again, one of my favorite Middle-earth characters, but he got it, and he's looking for the Arkenstone, and his whole world is shut down until he finds that stone. Thorin Oakenshield is an amazing character, but this right here is just, you really see how much it twists his mind not having the Arkenstone. I also got to talk about that opening scene with Smaug attacking the lake town and the people of Dale. It's super duper just emotional and brutal. And when Bard, Luke Evans, the lake town master, dude, this dude's a beast, goes and he kills Smaug, shoots that arrow right in the one piece of armor that has been penetrated, and he kills Smaug. Kind of sad that Smaug died within the first 20 minutes of the film, but that scene alone gives me chills all time when he's sitting there with the arrow sitting on his son's shoulder, and he's like, "No, son, you look at me." Takes on that full father role, and he just kills Smaug. He just takes the dragon down, and it is so amazing. But also, again, the action in this film is top-notch to the maximum. The love story between Tauriel and Keely, never thought it would work, but it works so well. We get introduced to it in The Desolation of Smaug, and it really just hits home when Keely dies, and his brother Fili dies, and Keely gets killed by Azog the Defiler, and you see Tauriel just crying and so upset, and King Thranduil, the dick that he is, literally just tells her all the time, like, "You're not worth for my son," and she's crying, and she's like, "Why does it hurt so much?" And he says, "Because it was real," and it was real for me too. I cried several times in this movie, and when Thorin and Azog have that end epic battle scene where they have the one-on-one fight, and Thorin sacrifices himself to kill Azog, is one of the most emotional parts of this whole film. You get Bilbo and Thorin saying goodbye when Thorin dies in Bilbo's arms. Then it wraps all the way around to be taking place back where the Fellowship began with an old Bilbo Baggins and Gandalf the Grey knocking on his door. A fantastic movie. I've talked about it too much here, but I love this movie so much. But Well, it's coming in first place. It's going to be The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey, an unexpected perfection of a film. I actually like this one more than The Two Towers. Come back next week to see how my ranking for the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit movies compare, because it's a lot different than it has been before. The Hobbit, The Unexpected Journey is not just a fantastic movie like I've said before, but this one just hits a little bit different. Getting introduced to all these characters, Bilbo Baggins and all of them, the people we know about, Bilbo and Gandalf, like how do they really meet? We get that in this film. We get the things that made us love Lord of the Rings so much, and it takes place right before the Fellowship of the Ring, kind of in that first scene. You get Frodo Baggins, Elijah Woods in the beginning of this film, and he goes, I'm going to see Gandalf, when the Lord of the Rings basically takes off, the Fellowship of the Ring, when Gandalf and Frodo meet and they go into town. That's a little tiny little tidbit in there that I really appreciated this time watching it around, but the action in this film, again, is done so beautifully, but just the introduction of all these characters, taking Bilbo Baggins as their burglar, someone who was, like, obviously not the obvious choice as this young hobbit. The perfect cast for Bilbo Baggins is Martin Freeman, and the big scene standout here, besides when the Eagles save them at the end and they're throwing fire pine cones at the wargs and the orcs and Azog to the fire, but when Bilbo and Gollum are in the caves, and he's literally having a riddle off with him. What have I got in my pocket? A fantastic scene from the book, but another really fantastic scene from the movie. We gotta have Gollum back in there. Andy Serkis being Gollum yet again. I love everything about this film. It is one of my favorite Middle-earth movies. I love the Hobbit Trilogy so much. A top 5 trilogy for me. Join me down below in the comment section. How did your guys' ranking compare? My ranking is obviously a lot different. Thank you guys so much for watching this. If you guys like these Middle-earth Mondays, let me know down below in the comment section, but let me know by hitting that thumbs up button. A video a day for hopefully the rest of the year. That is my goal. We'll see if we get there. If you guys are still rocking with me, that's the little insight information. Clear video a day for the rest of the year. I'm excited for all of it. Middle Earth Mondays are back, baby. I cannot wait for all of them. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time.